Devil's Cove Town Day. The town appears. Fog rolls through narrow streets. Locals stare at the newcomers. A church bell rings slowly. A sign reads, "Welcome to Devil's Cove." The letters are scratched, like claws dragged across them. First warning. Docks Day. Old boats creak in the harbor. An elderly fisherman, old Ben, 70s, watches the crew unload equipment. He walks toward them. His eyes are filled with fear. "Old Ben, you shouldn't be here." "Maya, we're making a documentary." Ben looks toward the ocean. The fog is thick. "Old Ben, the sea takes people here. Always has. And when it takes enough, it gives something back." Mark laughs. "Mark, ghost stories?" Ben leans closer. Old Ben whispers, "No, something worse." He points toward the cliffs. "Old Ben, stay away from the caves, especially after dark." Nightfall, cliffside night. The group films the coastline. Tommy launches a drone toward the cliffs. The drone camera moves through fog. Then, it spots the giant sea cave. Strange symbols are carved into the rock. The drone's signal suddenly glitches. Static. The camera moves deeper inside the cave. Inside the darkness, something moves. Tall, thin, standing in shallow water. Two glowing eyes open. The drone feed cuts out. Cliffside night. Tommy stares at the screen. "Tommy, guys?" The ocean suddenly becomes silent. No whoops, no wind, just the sound of something breathing from inside the cave. From the water below the cliff, dozens of pale hands slowly rise from the sea, reaching toward the shore. Devil's Cove. The curse of the sea. Devil's Cove, morning. A cold gray fog blankets the town. Fishing boats sit motionless in the harbor. No one is out on the water. The ocean looks unnaturally calm. Seagulls circle overhead, but none land. Local diner, morning. The documentary crew sits at a small table reviewing last night's footage. Tommy rewinds the drone footage. The group leans in. The screen flickers with static. Then the cave appears. "Ethan, pause it there." Tommy freezes the frame. Inside the cave, a tall, dark shape stands in the water. Two faint, glowing eyes stare directly at the camera. "Maya, that has to be someone standing in the cave." "Mark, or it's just a shadow." Tommy zooms in. The shape suddenly moves slightly in the footage. Everyone goes silent. The diner waitress, Sarah, 40s, overhears them. Her face goes pale. "Sarah, you flew a drone near the caves?" Lena, "Yeah, why?" Sarah glances nervously toward the windows. "Sarah, people here don't go near those caves, especially not this time of year." "Mark, why?" Sarah hesitates, then whispers, "Sarah, because that's when it wakes up." Devil's Cove Cemetery, afternoon. Lena walks through old gravestones, researching the town's history. Many graves are marked with the same symbol carved in the cave. A twisted spiral surrounded by claw marks. She photographs one grave. Name on the stone, Captain James Holloway, 1874. Below it reads, "The sea claimed him." Lena notices something disturbing. Dozens of graves from the exact same date. The night the fisherman disappeared. Town archive room, afternoon. Dusty books and yellowed newspapers fill the small room. Lena flips through an ancient journal. Handwritten entries from 1874. She reads aloud quietly. Lena, day 6. The voices from the caves grow louder each night. She turns the page. Lena, reading. The sea demon demands tribute. Her eyes widen. Lena, oh my God. Footsteps behind her. Old Ben appears in the doorway. Archive room, continuous. Ben closes the door slowly. Old Ben, you found Holloway's journal. Lena nods. Lena, what is this thing they talk about? Ben stares out the window toward the ocean. Old Ben, something older than this town, older than the church, older than the maps. He speaks quietly. Old Ben, the fishermen found the cave in 1874. They thought it was a blessing. Fish filled the water around it. But the cave wasn't empty. Something lived inside. Lena, what kind of thing? Ben whispers. Old Ben, the devil of the cove. Docks, sunset. The crew sets up cameras to capture sunset footage. The sky turns blood red over the ocean. The tide begins to rise. Mark interviews a nervous fisherman. Mark, have you ever seen anything strange out there? The fisherman refuses to answer. He simply says, "Fisherman, leave before the tide turns," then walks away quickly. Beach night. The crew films waves crashing against the shore. Ethan adjusts the camera. Tommy flies the drone again. The drone camera shows the coastline from above. Everything seems normal. Then, the drone picks up movement in the water. Hundreds of shapes moving beneath the surface, swimming toward shore. Beach continuous. Tommy stares at the monitor. Tommy, guys, the water near the beach begins bubbling. Something surfaces. A bloated corpse rises from the water, its skin pale and rotting, its eyes completely black. Then another corpse surfaces, and another, and another. Dozens of drowned bodies crawl slowly out of the sea. The crew backs away in terror. The corpses move stiffly like puppets, their mouths open. All of them whisper the same words. Corpses whispering. The tide returns. The tide returns. The tide returns. Suddenly, one corpse lunges forward. The crew runs. Cliff path night. The group sprints up the path toward town. Behind them, the corpses crawl up the beach. And in the dark ocean behind them, something massive rises beneath the surface. A gigantic shadow. Watching the shore, deep inside the cave, a monstrous silhouette slowly opens glowing eyes. A voice echoes through the darkness. The devil whispering. More have come. Good. The tide is hungry. Devil's Cove. The first kill. Fade in. Devil's Cove night. Thick fog blankets the town. The ocean roars louder than before, as if something massive is moving beneath it. Lights flicker in several houses. The church bell rings slowly, though no one is pulling it. Maya's rental house night. The documentary crew bursts through the door, soaked and terrified. Tommy slams the door shut. Everyone is Everyone agrees. But outside, something slowly drags across the porch. Scrape, scrape. The group freezes. Rental house porch, same time. One of the drowned corpses crawls across the wooden boards. Its limbs twist unnaturally. Its mouth hangs open. Black water pours from its throat. It whispers. Corpse. The tide calls. Rental house night. The scratching stops. Silence fills the room. Tommy peeks through the curtain. Nothing outside. Tommy, I think it's gone. Suddenly, bang, something slams violently into the front door. Everyone screams. The door cracks under the impact. Another hit, and another. Then the pounding stops. The crew stands frozen. Then slowly, the door handle begins turning. Docks, same night. Old Ben stands at the end of the pier holding a lantern. He watches the dark ocean. The water begins bubbling. A massive shape moves beneath the surface. Ben whispers to himself. Old Ben, it's starting again. Rental house night. The crew gather supplies. Flashlights, cameras, car keys. Maya, we're leaving now. Mark, the road out runs along the cliffs. Ethan, then let's go. They open the back door quietly. Backyard night. The group sneaks into the fog. The streetlights flicker. The town is completely silent. Too silent. They walk toward the Jeep parked nearby. Tommy stops suddenly. Tommy, wait. He points toward the street. Several drowned corpses stand motionless in the fog, watching them. Then the corpses begin moving, slowly at first, then faster. The group runs. Cliff Road night. The Jeep speeds down the narrow road along the cliffs. Wind howls. Maya drives. Tommy looks behind them. Several corpses chase the vehicle, running unnaturally fast. Tommy, they're gaining. Suddenly, something enormous moves in the ocean below the cliff. A massive shadow following the Jeep. Cliff Road continuous. The Jeep suddenly hits something. Thud. Maya slams the brakes. Everyone lurches forward. They step out of the vehicle. A body lies in the road. It's one of the fishermen from town, dead, but its eyes suddenly open. Black. The corpse grabs Ethan's leg. Ethan screams. The body pulls him toward the edge of the cliff. Ethan, help me. Mark grabs Ethan's arm, but the corpse is unbelievably strong. More drowned bodies emerge from the fog. They grab Ethan, dragging him toward the cliff edge. Maya screams. Maya. Ethan. The corpses pull him over the edge. Ethan falls into the darkness below. A distant splash echoes from the ocean. Silence. Cliff edge. Moments later. The crew stares down in shock. Then the ocean begins glowing faintly beneath the cliff. Something massive moves under the water. Then, Ethan's body slowly rises to the surface, floating. Still. Then his eyes open, completely black. He slowly turns toward the shore and begins swimming toward land. Deep inside the cave, the monstrous creature shifts in the darkness. Its enormous silhouette rises from the water. Long skeletal limbs, a head shaped like a twisted skull. Hundreds of drowned corpses kneel in the cave before it. The creature whispers, "The devil, the first soul has returned. Soon, the tide will bring them all." The secret ritual. Devil's Cove night. A violent storm rolls over the coastline. Thunder crashes across the sky. Waves slam against the cliffs with terrifying force. The town lights flicker in the distance. But something feels wrong. The streets are empty, almost as if the town itself is hiding. Cliff Road night. Maya, Lena, Mark, and Tommy stand beside the Jeep. They stare at the dark ocean below, where Ethan fell. None of them speak. Rain begins pouring down. Tommy, he's gone. Lena shakes her head slowly. Lena, no. She points toward the water. Far below, a pale figure is climbing onto the rocks. Ethan, but something about him is terribly wrong. His movements are stiff, unnatural. He slowly turns toward the cliff and smiles. Black water pours from his mouth. Mark, we need to get out of this town now. Devil's Cove Main Street night. The Jeep speeds into town, but the road ahead is blocked. Several townspeople stand in the middle of the street, holding lanterns and knives. Old Ben stands among them. Maya slams the brakes. Maya, what are you doing? Ben steps forward. His face is full of guilt. Old Ben, you shouldn't have come here. Mark steps out of the Jeep angrily. Mark, your town is full of dead people crawling out of the ocean. Ben nods slowly. Old Ben, yes, and it will only get worse. Abandoned church night. The crew is brought inside the old church. Candles flicker around the room. Strange symbols cover the walls. The same spiral symbol from a cave. Lena studies them carefully. Lena, this isn't a church symbol. Ben sighs heavily. Old Ben, because this isn't a church. Not really. It hasn't been for a long time. Church continuous. The townspeople gather around them. Some look ashamed. Others look terrified. Ben begins explaining. Old Ben, in 1874, the fishermen discovered the cave. Inside it, they found something ancient, something sleeping. But when they disturbed it, it woke up. The sea turned black. Boats vanished. People disappeared. Lena whispers. Lena, the devil of the cove. Ben nods. Old Ben, it feeds on souls, and it controls the ocean. If it gets hungry, the sea takes more people. Storms, shipwrecks, drownings. Mark realizes something horrifying. Mark, so you made a deal with it. Silence fills the church. Ben looks down. Old Ben, yes. Flashback sequence, 1874. Fishermen gather at the cave entrance. A massive shadow rises from the water. The creature towers over them. Terrifying, ancient. A voice echoes inside their minds. The devil. Feed the tide, and the town survives. Back to present. Old Ben. Every few years, we perform the ritual. We give a sacrifice. One soul. Then the ocean leaves us alone. Maya stares in disbelief. Maya, you kill people. Ben shakes his head desperately. Old Ben. No. The sea chooses. Outsiders. Travelers. People no one will miss. Tommy looks horrified. Tommy, that's us. No one answers. Beach night. The storm grows worse. Huge waves crash onto the shore. Dozens of drowned corpses crawl out of the ocean. Among them, Ethan, walking slowly toward the town. Church night. The townspeople begin preparing the ritual. They place an old stone altar in the center of the room. Ropes. Chains. Mark backs away. Mark, you're insane. Ben looks at Maya with sadness. Old Ben, if we don't give the devil a soul tonight, it will take the entire town. Suddenly, the church doors burst open. A drowned corpse lunges inside. Then another, and another. The undead flood the church. Chaos erupts. People scream. Candles fall. Fire spreads across the wooden floor. Ethan enters the church slowly. His eyes black. He stares directly at Maya. Ethan whispering. The tide demands more. Deep inside the ocean cave, the enormous devil finally rises fully from the water. Its body is towering, covered in seaweed and bones. Its glowing eyes open wide. Outside, the ocean begins rising. A massive tidal wave forms near the cliffs. The creature speaks one final command. The devil, bring me the sacrifice, or I will take the world above the tide. The devil awakens. Devil's Cove, night. The storm has become monstrous. Lightning tears across the sky. The ocean rises higher and higher, swallowing parts of the beach. Massive waves slam against the cliffs like the sea itself is alive. Sirens echo through the town. People run through the streets in panic. Burning church, night. The old church burns. Flames crawl up the wooden walls. The remaining survivors fight off the drowned corpses. Mark smashes one with a broken chair. Tommy pulls Maya away from another. Lena grabs Maya's arm. Lena, the ritual isn't about feeding the monster. Maya looks confused. Maya, what do you mean? Lena holds the old journal she grabbed earlier. Lena, Holloway wrote something the townspeople never understood. She flips to a final page. Lena, reading. The sacrifice does not feed the devil. It seals the cave. Everyone freezes. Mark realizes the truth. Mark, so the ritual isn't to keep it happy. It's to keep it trapped. Ben hears this and goes pale. Old Ben. No, that can't be true. Lena continues reading. Lena, one life must be given in the cave itself, or the devil will rise and walk the shore. Silence. Then thunder shakes the church. Maya looks toward the ocean. Maya, then we end it tonight. Cliff Path night. Maya, Lena, Mark, and Tommy race toward the cliffs. Behind them, the town is falling apart. Drowned corpses wander the streets. The ocean floods the harbor. And in the distance, something enormous moves near the cave. Devil's Cove Sea Cave night. The entrance to the cave is massive. Waves crash violently inside. Lightning briefly illuminates the interior. Hundreds of drowned bodies stand motionless in the water, guarding something deeper inside. Tommy whispers, Tommy, this is the worst idea we've ever had. Maya steps forward. Maya, if we don't stop it, no one survives. They enter the cave. Devil's Cove Cave night. Water reaches their knees. Strange symbols glow faintly on the cave walls. The drowned corpses slowly turn toward them, but they do not attack. Instead, they kneel, as if welcoming them. Then the water begins to rise. The cave trembles. A massive shape slowly emerges from the darkness. The devil. The creature stands nearly 20 feet tall. Its skeletal body is fused with barnacles and bones. Long arms drag through the water. Its face resembles a twisted human skull, and its glowing eyes burn like deep ocean fire. The creature speaks in a voice like crashing waves. The devil. More souls for the tide. The survivors freeze in terror. Final battle. The devil lunges forward. Its enormous arm smashes the cave wall. Rocks collapse around them. Tommy runs, but a drowned corpse grabs him. He struggles violently. Tommy, help me. The devil grabs Tommy and drags him into the dark water. Tommy's scream echoes through the cave. Then silence. Mark fires a flare gun at the creature. The flare explodes against its chest. The devil roars in fury, but it barely slows it. Water rushes deeper into the cave. The tide is rising fast. Lena realizes something. She points toward a stone altar deep inside the cave. Lena, that's where the sacrifice has to happen. But the devil blocks their path. Ethan suddenly appears from the water, still undead. He grabs Mark, dragging him under. Mark disappears into the black water. Only Maya and Lena remain. The sacrifice. The devil moves closer. Its massive shadow fills the cave. Lena grabs Maya's hand. Lena, you have to do it. Maya, no. Lena, it's the only way. Lena shoves Maya toward the altar. Then she turns and runs toward the devil. Lena, hey. The devil turns toward Lena. She screams at it. The creature lunges. At the same moment, Maya reaches the altar. She grabs the ancient ritual blade. But Lena is already being lifted into the air by the creature. Lena shouting, now, with tears in her eyes. Maya drives the blade into the altar symbol. The symbol glows blindingly bright. A powerful shockwave explodes through the cave. The devil screams. The water begins swirling violently. The drowned corpses collapse. The cave starts collapsing. The devil is dragged backward toward the darkness. Its glowing eyes lock on Maya. The devil. The tide never ends. Then the creature is pulled into the abyss. The cave collapses. Everything goes dark. Devil's Cove dawn. The storm is gone. The ocean is calm. Sunlight breaks across the horizon. Rescue boats arrive near the cliffs. Search teams explore the wreckage. Only one survivor is found walking along the beach. Maya, covered in salt water. Alive. A rescuer approaches her. Rescuer, what happened here? Maya looks toward the ocean. Silent. Then something moves far beneath the water. A massive shadow passing slowly under the waves. Maya whispers, Maya, it's still down there.